Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ, and I'm going to do the Margarete Miller Collage Challenge for week 6. So strap yourselves in, let's get right on going. I've grabbed out what I need. There is a little bit of fussy cutting to do. I have done some, but not a lot. But I haven't arranged how I want things to be. So yeah, join me for that decision-making process on how I'm going to arrange all the elements. So one of the things is an advert. Perhaps I'll go in order, list them off in order. So something made from plastic. So I've got this old retro telephone here. An advert, which is this piece here. It's out of a Stamp News magazine, and it's advertising stamp sellers. Something from space. Now I've got this page here out of a children's book, and I'm not sure what I'm going to go with. There's the moon, there's this cool fun little astronaut, you probably can't see, but he's a very happy chappy, and then we've got the earth with the moon orbiting around it. So I'm thinking either of these two, maybe both. I mean, that could be quite fun, couldn't it? Textured paper. I've got this bit of ratty paper, which was one of my failed attempts at making my own paper. So this was the worst one. I did get usable sheets, but it's very, very textured. It's quite thick. It's very torn in places. Yeah, so that's going to be my textured paper. A name in my family. I've got some magazine letters cut out that I'm going to spell out my mum's name. And the bonus is instructions, and for that I've got this page here from a cookbook I picked up secondhand. It's a very old cookbook. I don't think it's dated from memory, but it's old, and it's got these instructions on how to cook game. So I thought that could be a little bit of fun as well. So let's start perhaps with this this page here from the Stamp News. And it is a little wide, and the base I'm working on is just the back of the sheet that I did for week 5. So there's week 5, and I'm just doing the back of that. So I'm going to trim off this edge here. Hope everyone's doing well today, having a fabulous day. I am filming ahead because when this goes to air I will still be on holiday. Actually, that's a fun strip with some numbers and things, so I won't be throwing that out. I was just going to screw it up and throw it out, but no, we don't want to do that. It's got some cool bits on it. Always check the other side. And this bit's blank, but would actually make quite a cool stamping strip, so I'm going to pop that aside as well. Right, and our holes will be on this side. So perhaps I'll put it more towards this side with just a little bit of a border around the edge. Maybe that's what we'll do. I think, like I did last week, I'm just going to go ahead and lay out my pieces before I start gluing, so that I know I'm happy with placement. So I'm just going to tear down to where the instructions are. So it's got preparation of game, roasting game with the temperatures and what type of game it is and how long you do it for, that sort of thing. Throw that little bit away. I am capable of throwing things away. I just don't do it very often. I need to practice throwing things away, but so hard, you know, so much is usable in craft. It can always be used. It's just how long we have to hold on to it before it actually does find a use is the problem, isn't it? Right, so where do I want... I don't really want to cover up that stamp, but I'm going to have to cover up bits of this ad. I love the ad, but I'm just going to have to cover bits, and I don't mind if things like this have holes punched in them. So maybe just a funky little scrappy piece of, oh, I kind of like that actually, just randomly there. It's where it landed, but I'm quite happy with that. Our little phone, it's a nice little bright patch, isn't it? I'm thinking the moon is going to cover way too much of the page. Yeah, but I love it. I think it's very cool. So I'm going to cut it out, and then we can see. I mean, I could always like put part of it on, although that would seem to be a shame. So I'll just quickly fussy cut around the outside of the moon. I've gone so quiet, I'm concentrating on cutting a circle. So the day that you see this video will actually be the day that I'll be coming home. Which is sad, because that kind of's like coming to the end of our holiday. And the day that we come home, we've got to shoot straight through to the next town. So where we're staying, where we're going on holiday, is about an hour away. So it's not too far. So we'll be coming home, dropping stuff off, and then we've got to head over to the next town. So another 20-25 minutes, and take my car for a warrant, because it's the only day we can really do it before hubby goes back to work. So it's going to be quite the day. Ooh, actually I do kind of like that, and I like this cloud, like the effect of the paper sort of clouding over the moon. It's kind of fun. But I do think I might want the astronaut as well. So let's cut him out as well. Sorry, I get conscious that I'm repeating the same phrases or words over and over. And using as well twice in one sentence really grates on my nerves. You possibly did not notice, but that repetition really bugged me when I said it. I've got a thing about things being said over and over. How do I put it? Like, if I'm told the same thing more than once, it's like, yeah, you don't need to tell me again. That's what I mean by being, hearing things over and over. But when I use repetitive phrasing in my own language, that bugs me as well. And I know I overuse certain words like so. I do it all the time when I'm writing something. In my journaling, when I'm typing out a post or something, I use so all the time. And it's like, it's just an automatic go-to, and it bugs me, and I'm trying to stop it and catch it if I see it, but it's just so ingrained at this point, and it's really hard habit to break. And I hate reading back and saying so and so, and then I read back over a post I made. I think I wrote it out yesterday, and it's already published, and I read it back this morning, and it was like, I used so twice in one sentence. It's like, yuck, I hate that. But I left it. It's like, I'm sure it doesn't bug anyone anywhere as near as it bugs me. So, funny little quirks and foibles. We all got foibles, little quirky things that we hate or love, and that's one of mine, is when it comes to use of language. I don't like repetition. And I am a writer as well, so I spent quite a few years editing other people's work, and I'd be, pick that up quite a lot, and then to find I'm doing it myself, it's just like, stop it, it's bad writing. And that's where I'm coming from, is like my editor hat switches on and goes, no, 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 no. don't do that. It's bad, sloppy writing. But for everybody else, you know, just normal communication, everything, it's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just my editor brain going, nope, don't do it. Can't do that. It's not good. Switch it out. Change it. Use a thesaurus. Anything. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. I'm just going down a bit of a ranty path, wasn't I? Never mind. So this will air on Friday, which means that the weekend is coming up. So what's everybody doing for the weekend? I imagine that we'll be doing washing. You know, coming home from holiday, we've got to take all our bedding and everything with us. So we'll be washing sheets and towels and what have you. That'll be probably high on our priority list. And having lots of cuddles with our cats, because we're going to miss our cats being away for a week. We've got friends looking after them, so they'll, you know, still be taken care of, but we're going to miss them. Put him somewhere. Oh, he could be on the cloud, couldn't he? On our textured cloud. Behind the cloud. I kind of don't want to put him straight up and down. I want to play with him being on a bit of an angle there. Okay, so the last thing is name from my family. So I think I'm going to lay this down first, and then I'll grab out the letters, just so I've kind of not dealing with so much loose paper. This is very, very thin paper, very thin. So I'm going to just put some glue stick in the middle, and then some wet glue around the outside, some tacky glue, because I don't think it would react very well if I did completely tacky glue. It's going to pucker, and it still will, but I'm not going to glue stick the whole thing. It's just too big. Oops. Usual story, got a glue plug in the top of my glue, so let's get rid of that first. I don't know if you can hear the noises outside. Hubby's outside doing some weed trimming again. He's not too close to the house, so you may not be able to hear it. But that's not to say that he won't come closer during the course of this video. He may even stop and come in and not realise that I'm videoing, because I didn't tell him. Although he knew I needed to do another video, so he might guess. Particularly if he hears me talking to myself, essentially. Right, so let's pop this down. I'm just going to leave a little bit of a yellow border just for fun, because I'm not going to cover the whole thing. Right, that's not too bad. It hasn't gone too bad with the wet glue. There's a few lines and they will dry and not be so obvious, but part of this is going to be covered up anyway. So let's put that one down next. It's got a recipe for jugged hair on the back side of this recipe instructions. It doesn't sound very nice. It says reserving blood, liver and kidneys, and it's like, yeah, you've lost me there. I am not an offal person. The only form of offal I like and will eat is pate. Pate's yummy, but anything else is like, yeah, no. That's a firm no on that one. Right. So we wanted... going to end up covering that really cool stamp, but that's all right. I've got to stop being precious. It's just an element in the background. There's still lots of cool details that will show. And I've got quite a few of these magazines that my husband bought me in an auction. So there's plenty other cool stamps I can use, save and use. Right, there we go, that, and let's put some glue on this yummy bit of textured paper. I must make some more handmade paper actually. I just need to get all the things out and find where they all are and have a day of it, because I am getting through. I've only done it a couple of times and I've used everything. Well, no, I haven't used everything. I am getting through what I made those couple of times. So it'd be nice to make some more and have a bit of more practice so I get better at the technique and getting finer paper, because most of what I did, there's a couple that are nice and thin, but most of it's quite thick and chunky. Right, there's our cool sort of textured paper cloud thing. I'm just using tacky glue. It's quick, it's easy, it's, yeah, just easier. And I know everything's going to stay, particularly when I'm dealing things with like the textured paper that needs the better quality glue or heavier glue than a glue stick will provide. I know for a fact glue stick will not keep that in place. All right, can we just... Oh, he's just going to have one foot slightly under the cloud. That's okay. I'll pop you there. I'm not too worried about exactly where he went. And then our phone, when I was cutting this out, I did tear it where the cord joins to the phone. Yep, just about there I think. And I think I will use glue stick on this because it's only going on normal paper. I've just got to be very, very careful that I don't sort of rip the phone cord off entirely. Just requires a little bit more care and carefulness. And maybe the astronaut is really happy because he's going to phone home. It's kind of cute, isn't it? Join the cord back up. Whoops, it's stuck to my finger. Oh, it doesn't want to stick, do you know? Gonna have to go tacky. Maybe it's I didn't get enough glue on it because I was trying to be too careful. So let's just dab some tacky glue on it. And then we know it's going to stick down. Oops, try and join it back up to where it's supposed to be going. There we go, there's our phone. Cute. Right, so that's that. So just check that we've got everything except the name. So something made from plastic, and add something from space. So we've got two things, textured paper, instructions, and the last thing, a name in your family, in my family. So I need to spell out my mum's name. So this is my big container. It was a bead container and it's not ideal, but it's what I've got at the moment. It's a very like acrylic, sort of hard plastic. It's cracked, it's falling apart, it doesn't hold together properly, and it's too big to fit anywhere, so it's actually really annoying. So one day I will replace it. Right, so we need an R. Actually, how about a green R? And we need an O. And an S. Oh, here's a cool S. I think it goes up that way. An A. Oops, some of these have jumped ship to the next category, next letter over. How about a nice big red A, or red background? An L. Can anyone guess my mum's name yet? Is There's an L, an I. I don't know why that's in there. That should be in the L's, that one. I. They seem to be getting bigger as I go along, which is absolutely fine. It's sort of that ransom note look, which is fun. I can see an E down here at the bottom that I want, because, you know, that's way easier than taking one that's near the top. Oh, come on. Let me get you. I want you. Come on. There we go. Managed to get it. My mum's name is Rosalie, which I happen to think is a very, very pretty name. Lots of people get it wrong and call her Rose or Rosemary or, you know, other things, and it's like, it's not that difficult really. Her name is Rosalie. And I might do her middle name as well, because her middle name is the same as mine. So that might be quite nice to kind of bring us both into it a little bit. So I'm just going to pop these letters down at the top. I won't cover up the date on the ad, which is April 1966. Leave that there because that's quite a cool little fact. That's when the publication was. So these are mostly cut out of magazines, but the odd one, like this one I'm using now, the S, is from a children's book that I cut up. The children's book that was donated to our church, and the topic was not at all suitable, so I brought it home and had some really cool bright images and letters and things, so I chopped it up. Which is rather fun. Oh, this glue stick, it's not an old one, but it's still a little goopy, and I think it's just been the heat lately. We've had pretty much a week where we were in the 30s every day, or almost every day, and so I think it's just the heat has not treated the glue stick too kindly. Nice big eye. And shall we do the middle name as well? Why not, since we're here? Right, so for the middle name, it's only 4 letters and it begins with an M. So let's take a pink background M. We need an A, so you probably know by now what it's going to spell. So an A, and we need what letter next? An R. Oh no, not that one. That one. And lastly we need a Y. So yes, my mum's middle name is Mary, and so is mine. Haven't got as much of a choice in the Y's. Is this one too small? Kind of hard to see. Oh, there's one right at the bottom. It's always the one at the bottom, isn't it? There, that one. Let's go with that one. So I'm just going to tear off this page. It's getting a bit sticky with all that goopy glue. M-A. It's always the feeling when you're doing this, it's like, don't put them in the wrong order. Don't make a mistake. It's so easy to make a mistake when you're doing something like this. R and our cute little Y. Rosalie Mary. And my niece's name, she has Rosalie as her middle name, my oldest niece. So I think that's very cool. I do think it's a really pretty name, Rosalie. It's not very common either. So there we go. There is our collage for week 6 of the Margarete Miller Collage Weekly Challenge. So just to double check, we've got everything. We've got something made from plastic, which is our phone. We've got our advert from the Stamp News, something from space, our astronaut and the moon. Got textured paper, so some of my handmade paper here. A name in your family, my mum's beautiful name, Rosalie Mary, and the bonus of the instructions, which is the roasting of game meat. So there we go. We've got everything done. And that page is now complete, and I have got a folder now, a ring binder to put these in. I just haven't done it yet, so maybe by next week I would have done that, but probably not, considering I'm going to be away. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed this collage and just hanging out with me for however long it's been, half an hour or so. Yeah, hope you have a great weekend, everybody. And I will see you back bright and breezy from my holiday. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.